get out of the way.
There's a martial art where fighters can see your attack coming before you even move. In a real knife fight, you have less than 1 second to survive. Most martial arts teach you to block after the attack starts. But by then, you're already too late. What if there's a fighting system that reads your body like a book and stops you before your hand even moves? It sounds impossible, but it's real. This is Silat Suffian Bela Diri. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why fighters who discover it say it changed everything they knew about combat. Imagine villages built on wooden stilts over water, narrow bridges connecting house to house, dense jungles where you can't see more than a few feet ahead. This is Brunei, where Silat Suffian Bela Diri was born. The people here didn't fight in rings. They faced real danger daily. Sudden attacks, hidden enemies, knife fights on shaky bridges, multiple attackers from different directions. You couldn't afford long fights. You had one chance to survive. And that shaped this martial art into something completely different. Mal Morni took fighting methods passed down through generations and turned them into a system anyone can learn. Every technique has a reason. Every movement solves a real problem. But here's where it gets interesting. Think about normal fighting. Someone throws a punch, you block. Someone swings a knife, you dodge. You're always reacting, always one step behind. But your body can't lie. Before you punch, your shoulder moves. Before you stab, your body prepares. These tiny movements happen milliseconds before the attack. Silat Suffian Bela Diri teaches you to see these movements. You don't wait for the punch. You move when the shoulder shifts, before the attack even starts. One martial artist said, "Even before I start feeling myself move, he's already reacting." When Mal stands in front of someone holding a knife, he doesn't watch the knife or the hand. He looks at their center, using side vision to watch everything. The instant the attacker's shoulder shifts, that's his signal. By the time the knife moves, he's already stepped to the side, safe, with the attacker completely open. This isn't magic. It's understanding how bodies work. Every attack requires the body to prepare first. That preparation is visible if you know what to look for. Most martial arts teach techniques. When someone does this, you do that. You memorize combinations and responses. Silat Suffian Bela Diri works differently. Instead of 1,000 techniques, it teaches a handful of principles, basic rules that work everywhere. Why? Warriors didn't have time to think. When ambushed in the dark, they needed their body to know what to do automatically. Example: reference points are specific spots on the body, like the elbow, that you can push to break someone's balance. Once you understand this, it works whether you're empty-handed holding a knife or holding a stick. The weapon changes, but the principle stays the same. Another concept is blade mentality, treating every fight like the person might have a hidden weapon. The Bruneian warriors lived where anyone could have a knife hidden, so they trained to always be ready. Training starts simple. Practice forms, learn footwork, practice specific intercepts. Then add partners, add resistance. Finally, train in chaotic scenarios, dim lighting, uneven ground, multiple attackers. This mirrors how original warriors trained alone by rivers, then prepared with their community for real battles. Imagine someone barely touching you, but you feel like you got hit by a car. This happens constantly in Silat Suffian Bela Diri. How? Through structural alignment, using your skeleton for power. Think of your body like a bridge. If all parts line up correctly, the bridge is incredibly strong. Your body works the same way. When you align your spine correctly, shoulders back, core tight, everything in line, your body becomes solid power, travels through your bones from feet to target, all in one smooth line. This is why warriors could swing heavy machetes on shaky platforms. They couldn't just use muscles. They learned to align their whole body. Small effort in, massive power out. When Mal demonstrates this, he'll do a light tap, 5% strength, and people say it feels devastating. He once accidentally broke someone's rib through a thick pad, not from hitting hard, but from perfect structure. This same principle works for everything. The alignment that makes a machete powerful also makes an empty-handed strike powerful. And here's the advantage. When you hit with structure instead of muscle, people can't see it coming. No wind-up, no preparation. The power just appears. Every movement comes from the environment where it was created. Moving like a matador. Fighters glide in triangular patterns, staying balanced. Why? Warriors fought on wooden platforms over water. Stomping might break the platform. Losing balance meant falling in water. Maul describes it. I'm giving you a pathway like a matador. You're the bull. The attacker thinks they're closing in, but they're being led into an exposed position. Stopping attacks at the source, instead of blocking a machete blade, you jam their shoulder before the machete gets speed. You're stopping the engine, not the weapon. Breaking balance. Once you've jammed the attack, you push or pull specific points. Elbow, knee, shoulder. This destroys their balance. They can't stand properly or generate power. There's a saying, a wounded tiger is still dangerous. You don't let go until the attacker's on the ground, unable to continue. Why? They might still have a weapon. What makes this special isn't just the pieces, it's how everything connects. Original warriors might use a machete, then their hands, then a spear, all in seconds. They needed everything to work the same way. That's how this system works. Whether empty-handed or holding a weapon, the principles are identical. See the attack forming. Stop it at the source. Break their structure. Use your aligned body for power. The entry that stops a knife thrust? Same entry that stops a punch breaking balance after blocking a machete? Same way you break balance in grappling. One practitioner said, knife right hand, knife left hand, machete, staff. Same every time, it doesn't change. When you're flooded with adrenaline and danger, you don't think about which technique to use. Your body applies the principles you've practiced thousands of times. This looks too complicated. How would this work in a real fight? It's the most common criticism. But here's the truth. You're not learning the complex flow. You're learning the principles that make flow possible. In a real knife attack, the response is one explosive movement. Boom. Straight to their structure. Immediate collapse. No fancy sequences. Just principle-based interception with structural power. Why train complex flows? Because they teach your body to handle every variation. What if the first entry doesn't work? What if the attacker changes angles? What if there are multiple people? Flow practice programs. Adaptive responses under stress. Your body knows what to do without thinking. The training follows how warriors prepared. Isolation, integration, improvisation. Learn basics. Apply against two attackers, then against attackers trying to surround you. But never abandon basic principles. What makes Silat Suffian Bela Diri so effective? It's the fundamental change in how you think about fighting. Most martial arts work on reaction. You attack, I defend. Silat Suffian Bela Diri works on anticipation. I see your body preparing, and I interrupt before you begin. This isn't superhuman speed. It's superior awareness in a real dangerous situation. Ambush in the dark, knife from nowhere, multiple attackers. You don't have time to react. You need to see danger forming and stop it at its beginning. Move so efficiently you're never where the attack expects. Generate power so efficiently that small movements create big effects. This is what the system offers. A complete survival system refined through centuries, simplified into learnable principles, preserved by practitioners, carrying forward warrior wisdom. And surprisingly, it's accessible. People are shocked at how quickly they learn the basics. The principles make logical sense once explained clearly. So when you see flowing martial arts demonstrations and think, that would never work, remember, you're not seeing the application. You're seeing principle exploration. The complexity develops simplicity under stress. The flow trains adaptability for chaos. That's the paradox. It's both the most sophisticated and most direct martial art you'll encounter. Complex enough to study for a lifetime. Simple enough to save your life tomorrow. And that's exactly what it was designed to do.